Good morning! Today is December 2nd, 2019. This is Math 1. And we're actually going to do two lessons today. We're going to do interpreting scatter plots, and we're also going to do completing two-way frequency tables. So let's start with scatter plots. We're going to just, I'm not even going to follow my notes that much today. So scatter plots give me three coordinate systems like this. 1, 2, 3. This is what a scatter plot looks like. Boom. Imagine doing some kind of a data collection and you've got a bunch of points and you plot all the points. There we go. So there are three possible things that could happen here. Points, 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 points. Which direction, look at the slope of that. Is the slope positive or negative? This is a positive trend. Positive trend. As x goes up, y goes up. Something else could happen like this. Maddie, what's this?
Negative.
It's a negative trend. As x goes up, y goes down. Yeah, it's fun to make those points, isn't it? Gavin's going crazy over here.
Oh, I just.
And then we have,
The random.
which is
The random.
no trend. There's no connection here. I can't see what's going on, so no trend. No trend. There's no connection. Did I mess it up? No trend. There's no trend. No, there's a trend. There is a trend. There's no trend. There we go. So we have the positive trend, the negative trend, and no trend. Now, on the positive and negative trend, we can approximate the data with a line. So that line approximates the data. And it's called a best fit line. Or trend. Or tread line. Trend line. Or trend line. And I can draw it on the negative trend also. So we could take all that data and approximate a line to fit it. And then later on we'll start using those lines. We'll create the equations for those lines, but not today. Could I create a line for this? No, because there's no trend. Blah. Now, sometimes you're going to get weird points, like this point right there.
One.
What is it? It's an outlier. And usually we just kind of throw away outliers and ignore them. So let's label that, put a point there, and call it an outlier. It's one piece of data that just doesn't fit the trend that's going on. So what do we have? We have positive trend lines, negative trend lines, and we've got outliers going on. Some vocabulary. Okay. So we're just going to do this verbally, looking at this data, raising a hand. JJ, raise your hand. Yes, JJ, is it a positive or a negative trend?
A positive.
It's a positive trend. Do you think this is the best fit line right about there? What do you think, Maddie? Is that the line? How about this, Micah?
No.
How about this, Greenlee?
Yep.
Here, there's my best fit line. And if this were on paper, you could draw it. What's the relationship with this data? You actually have to read the labels on the x and y axis. Okay, so what's going on here?
Oh, as the husband's age increases, the wife's age increases.
That's exactly it. And you read the x first, left to right. So as x increases, y increases. As the husband's age increases, the wife's age increases, which makes sense. If you look at a 50-year-old man, for the most part, he's married to a 50-year-old, 48-year-old woman, right? Does that make sense? Are there going to be outliers? Yes. Usually in this kind of data, we think the outliers are a little bit interesting, correct? Like 80-year-old woman, 20-year-old man. But wouldn't that really show up on this data?
Yeah.
Right? Because that would be a point right here. And you go, hey, that doesn't really fit the normal data set. But this does, and what's this? I've got a 70-year-old husband, 58-year-old wife. Okay. Gavin, positive or negative? Okay, Miranda, you like that line? You like this line? You like this line? You like that line? There's a good best fit line. Trent, tell me what's going on with the data.
As the weight increases, so does the height.
Yep, as the weight increases, so always start with your x, because that comes first, and then go to your y. So this would be the independent variable usually, and that would be the dependent variable when you're talking about science. This is what goes in, this is what comes out, x and y. You see how I did that, mixing up the different classes? You saw that, yeah. That's why. You know what, but science likes you. Every once in a while, science calls me up and says, hey, Mr. Barr, what's going on with Chris? Hey, Chris, positive or negative? Negative. Jackson, see if you like the line. Yeah, pretty good. Best fit line. Tell me, Lizeth, what's the connection? Yeah, could you read it from as the length increases, the x is always increasing. We always read it left to right. As the length increases, does it? As the length increases, the success is actually decreasing. And what this example is imagine a basketball hoop. Here's my example for it. If I'm really, really close to it, man, look at how often I make it. Yes. Yes. My success rate is, I'm really good. But as I get further and further away from it, my success rate goes down. That kind of matches this data, doesn't it? Another one. Let's go to Jordan. Positive or negative?
Negative.
It is negative. Look, Presley, it already has the best fit line in there. What is the connection, Presley? It's my lights, it's okay. Don't be scared.
I like them better when they're off.
Yeah.
It's nice. Maybe we'll turn them off better. What's the connection?
As the hours of exercise per week increase,
Good.
the resting heart rate decreases.
Yep. The more you exercise, the lower your resting heart rate. Would this go on forever? No, because at some point your heart rate gets to 0.
And then you,
Then you beep.
and then have to go.
Okay. Gavin Wamsley, what do you say? Positive, negative, or no trend?
No trend.
No trend. There's nothing going on. Can you explain the relationship? No, we can't explain the relationship. There's no trend. Okay, this data, ignore the outlier. What do you think on this one? Taryn, positive or negative?
Negative.
I think negative. It'd be kind of hard to, maybe?
Yeah.
It's not a good data set. I think you'd have to go out there and get more data to make this make sense. But so I guess as x goes up, y goes down.
Yeah.
And do you guys have to do science fair this year?
Yeah.
Are you excited about that?
No.
Trent, you are. That's good.
No.
All right. Now we're going to go to another lesson. Jump into two-way frequency tables. The toucan.
Oh, wait, what?
It's like a duck with a really little one.
Can I put it on the same page?
Yes. Actually, you know, we're pretty much done with notes. I'm just going to explain this. All right. Sudoku puzzles. Today's lesson, this piece of it, is a lot like a Sudoku puzzle. I'm going to show you how this works. So imagine I go and I interview 240 people and ask them, do you want to buy an SUV or a sports car? And I record the data. So right here, how many men want an SUV? 21. How many women want an SUV? How many men want a sports car? And how many women? 45.
Wow, looks like a woman.
So this is the data. This is what I collected. But now look, how many men altogether did I talk to? 60. Look, 21 plus 39, 60. It adds up, like Sudoku somehow. Ish. 135 plus 45, 180. 180 plus 60, 240. Everything adds this way, and it also adds down. So the columns have to add and the rows have to add. Questions on that? It's like a game. Okay. This one is actually, it's got more data, but I'm going to ask you some questions on it. I feel like it's time to talk to Mr. Fisher. Mr. Fisher, how many boys are taking Spanish? 10. Excellent. Micah, how many girls are taking German?
3.
Perfect. JJ, how many people altogether are taking Spanish?
No.
How many people are taking, how many, yeah, 25. How many boys are taking Spanish?
10.
How many girls?
15.
There you go. Maddie Heller, how many people total are taking a language?
50.
There you go. Let's start filling in some blanks. Oh, actually, here's another table thing. I stand by the concession stand and I ask people, like, what did you buy? And some of them are just like, why do you want to know? And I'm like, I'm doing a survey. And they're like, I'm not going to tell you. And I'm like, well, you got to be that way. Okay. So, how many people bought a hot dog and a soda? Nico.
50.
Nice. Bradley, how many people went to the snack bar and did not buy anything?
10.
Perfect. Miranda, have I talked to you today?
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to you again. If you went to the snack bar, what would you get? Pizza and a soda.
Oh.
Okay. Greenlee, if you went, what would you get? Pizza and a water. What was the most popular combination all together? Gavin? Chris? What's the most popular combination? Pizza and a soda. That's what most people are getting at the snack bar, pizza and a soda. All right. Boom, let's fill it in. We know that they have to add up. I feel like it's going to be Chris. Chris, you're going to pick a square and tell me what number to put in there. This square, you want this one?
No.
You want this one?
No.
Which one? You want this one?
Yeah.
What are you going to put there?
19.
How do you know that's 19?
Because 19 and 21 is 40.
Beautiful, you've got it. Jackson, you want this square or this square?
That's where.
This one? What do you got?
17.
Beautiful, how do you know it's 17?
Because 17 plus 19 is 36.
17 plus 19 equals 36. Lizeth, what goes right here? Beautiful, how do you know? Questions on how to fill out the table?
Good job, guys.
Really? We did 2 lessons. We did lesson 1 and lesson 2. You now have the remainder of the period to do homework 1 and homework 2. You should be able to get it all done in class. Good? What do you think, Bradley? Okay. I'm always concerned about you.
Do all three. It's like we have to go up
Do we have to do?
Yeah, it's 10 minutes each, or get it to 100. You're gonna get it to 100.
So we don't need to do the Google one.
You do the 3 IXLs and the Google homework. You're doing the homework for lesson 1 and lesson 2. Have you seen the clock?
We have like.
Yeah, wait,
This is not gonna be more homework than a normal day. You've got so much time in class. And Nico's just like, I'm gonna crank this out right now. WWND. What would Nico do? His homework.
no, you play.
Actually, it's kind of like WWND is like weapons of WMD. Weapons of mass destruction. WND.
Didn't know that.
Weapons of Nico destruction. WMD. Weapons of Maddie destruction. You're the destroyer of worlds. I know.
That makes sense.
Stand.
You have friends?
That's what my dad
I know.
asked me. I was like, oh, there's dad.
I gotta pause this before I get in trouble.
Oh,
Okay.
Wait, this is gonna be like,
Hey, Maddie's dad. She has lots of friends. She's a nice kid.
Wink, wink.
Jordan.
I'm not wink winking. Jordan, on the other hand. Shut this down.
Almost done.
On the first one?
Yeah.
Okay, I isn't even loaded.
Oh man, I'm still streaming.